Coming to America is directed by Craig Brewer. It stars Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Jermaine Fowler, Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan, and Wesley Snipes. Coming to America is a sequel to the 1988 film Coming to America, and this sequel takes place decades after the events of the original film. In this sequel, Prince Akeem is now known as King Akeem, and he learns that he has a long lost son in the United States. So King Akeem travels to the United States to bring his son back to Zamunda so that he could eventually become king. When he brings his son back to their country, he realizes that complications start to arise. So this sequel is a film I was looking forward to because I love the first film. The first film is so funny. It's one of my favorite comedies of the 1980s. It's surprising to know that they waited until 2021 to make a sequel. It's no secret that this film has mediocre reviews, and the majority of the cast from the first film is back for this one. But despite the mediocre reviews, I was still excited to see this sequel. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I had a lot of fun with this one. Right off the bat, I will say this film is definitely not as good as the first one. It lacks some of the heart and charm that made the first one so good. And the jokes are not as strong as they were in the first one. With that being said, though, I did laugh quite a bit. And overall, I had a good time. Everyone in the cast here looks like they are having such a blast in their roles. And it's so great to see Eddie Murphy back in Hollywood because a couple of years ago, he had his comeback after a couple of years taking a hiatus. And I've always loved Eddie Murphy. He's very funny and likable. Overall, I think he's just very talented. And he's great here, once again, as the character. He's funny. He's very charming character. And I liked seeing how his character changed from the first one until now. He has great chemistry, once again, with Arsenio Hall's character. And they both, like I said, look like they're just having a blast with their roles. It's great seeing those two back again in their respective roles. And if you've seen the first one, you know both of them play more than one role in these movies. So seeing them play multiple roles as other characters that we love in the first one and in this one, it's just fantastic to see. But I won't spoil anything for those who haven't seen this film yet. The scene stealer for me, however, is Wesley Snipes. So Wesley Snipes plays a general who is a threat to King Akeem and his family, but he is so damn funny. He had me dying pretty consistently every time he was on screen. He looks like he's also having just the time of his life playing this role. I also really like Wesley Snipes, and once again, he is just absolutely hilarious here. His mannerisms and just his character overall is easily a highlight of the film. Shout out to the makeup and costume design of this film because it is fantastic. That is something that should not go unnoticed because it's really something to commend here. Some of the CGI is a little bit noticeable, but whatever. For the most part, the CGI is good, and I did not really have a problem with it. Back to the acting, though, and everyone else is good. So Leslie Jones is funny, Tracy Morgan's funny. Jermaine Fowler, who plays King Akeem's son, he doesn't have much of a comedic role. His role is definitely more serious, but I thought he did a solid job. I liked his character for sure. So, as I said before, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's very entertaining for me. I was never bored. But like I said, it's definitely not as good as the original. I wouldn't say this movie doesn't have heart because when everything comes together at the end and you realize King Akeem, he comes to an epiphany and has some sort of realizations and resolutions with his family, it's nice to see. And I think in that aspect, the film does have some heart, but it just lacks the big heart the first one had. The first one had a lot more to offer than just the comedy. But in any case, this film, in terms of its humor, it mostly hits, but sometimes it does miss. Some of the jokes don't quite work for me. It's also very easy to predict where the story goes. Like maybe 20 or 30 minutes in, you could probably predict how the film will end and how the film is going to play out in terms of other story arcs and character arcs that are presented in the film. And lastly, I just want to say that in terms of this sequel, I definitely think that it tends to retread some familiar grounds with the first one. In other words, it has some of the very familiar beats of the first one, and it could definitely come across as unnecessary. But like I said, I still had fun with this film. I know this may surprise some people because here's the thing. This film came out on Friday, and I saw it on Sunday night, so I didn't see this movie right away. But about 3 people reached out to me telling me that they were disappointed and they just weren't feeling this film. And if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, it's like at a 50%. So this film is not working for everybody. There's a lot of people who are being let down by this film. I'm just not one of those people. I don't love this film. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I forgot to mention that in terms of director, he did a good job directing this film. But in 2019, he made a film with Eddie Murphy called Dolomite Is My Name, which is on Netflix. If you have Netflix and haven't seen it, please see it. It's a fantastic movie. But my point is that Coming to America isn't even close to being as good as that movie. But still, I had fun. It was great to see the cast again. I laughed sometimes. And I would say I'd laughed occasionally rather than sometimes. But in any case, I thought it was a good sequel. Maybe we didn't need to wait that long for a sequel, but I liked it. Sometimes I'm in the minority. I mean, there are times where movies have this huge praise from everyone, and I'm just one of the few who doesn't get it. Or vice versa. There are some movies that are either trashed upon or people find disappointing. And either I'm one of the people who say it's not that bad or I actually like it. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen sometimes. And it's the case here. I like Coming to America. It's how I honestly feel. So I'm going to give this sequel a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. I'm going to recommend it to you guys. It's on Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen the first one, that is also on Amazon Prime. See that one for sure. See that one. And then if you want to see this one, you can see that as a double feature because the sequel has some callbacks and references to the first film that I thought were funny and worked well. So I like this film. 7 out of 10. That's my review of Coming to America. I hope you guys enjoyed the review and will take it into consideration if you plan on seeing the film or not. The next movie review will be for The Father. So The Father is a movie I talked about in my top 10 best movies of 2020 video, but I still decided that I'm going to make a review for it because it's had a very weird release date. And it's finally playing near me tomorrow. So I'm going to see it tomorrow night and have a review for you very soon. And I just feel like I need to review this film because that movie, I feel like the marketing for that movie has been really terrible. And I want to convince people to see it. So I'm going to make a review on it. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you guys again for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again for watching. Until then, take care. Have a good one. Bye.